Welcome to another Tempo Storm Meta Snapshot, where we had hoped to report on the exciting, meta-breaking standard buffs to 25 different cards. Unfortunately, the buffs have seemed pretty lackluster overall. The nerfs, however, were much more noticeable. Let's dive into all the changes affecting the very best decks on the ladder. Leading off Tier 1 is Unholy Death Knight, an archetype that's been floating near the top for a while, but never quite reached the pinnacle until now. This archetype was hit by the nerfs thanks to the changes to the Death Knight rune system, but the deck continues to perform well despite these changes. This list cuts the nerfed Rowdy Fan in favor of Pazik and Famished Fool for more mid-game flexibility. Spell Demon Hunter, a controversial but nonetheless powerful deck, appears as the only other list in Tier 1. With a relatively non-interactive playstyle that simply consists of drawing cards and eventually playing Sinful Brand Steno, or a combination of spell power alongside burn damage, the archetype has answers to virtually all other plans. Many players on social media have made it clear that they're not fond of the punishing and overly linear nature of the deck, so keep an eye out to see if Blizzard responds. Let's take a look at Tier 2 now, starting off with Miracle Rogue, an archetype that is still performing well following the rotation. We expect that as other lists solidify, this deck stands a good chance of making it back into Tier 1, as long as Spell Demon Hunter and others like it don't become too oppressive. Outcast Demon Hunter takes the second spot in Tier 2 as a list that saw a lot of initial hype and continues to perform well, if a tad less dominant nowadays. Use your Outcast cards to generate more value for each card, then close out the game with Vengeful Walloper for pressure, Fellerin the Forgotten for value, and Halveria Darkraven for damage. The deck is flexible, but it requires a lot of forethought to play, so you probably won't be able to watch your favorite anime while queuing Outcast Demon Hunter. Tony Druid, a unique take on the class, slots in at the third slot in Tier 2. The deck aims to stall to the late game using the Hero Power package, allowing it to gain armor and push damage or clear minions where needed. In the later stages, it can then either close out the game using a large Zac Fogsnout, or a big combo turn using a Nubricon. In grinder games, you'll use Tony and the Jailer to blow out your opponent and their deck. Give it a whirl and see if it's worth the hype. That wraps up our standard Meta Snapshot breakdown. We hope you enjoyed this look at the Hearthstone meta, and we can't wait to see what the upcoming weeks bring to the game. If you enjoyed this video, we would appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date with all of our Hearthstone content. Until next time!